Most people knew Darrell Sheets as the gambler, the big personality on Storage Wars who built a career on instinct, risk, and an almost supernatural ability to find value where everyone else saw junk. But the man behind that nickname was something the cameras never fully captured. And the story of what he left behind when he died on April 22, 2026, is both more heartbreaking and more remarkable than most people know. Darrell was found at his home in Lake Havasu City, Arizona at the age of 67. In the hours after the news broke, his Storage Wars co-star Renee Nezota came forward publicly with something that couldn't be left unsaid. Darrell had been the target of sustained cyberbullying in the weeks leading up to his death, deliberate, repeated cruelty from someone who had made it their mission to torment him. Renee's message was simple and urgent: you never know what someone is carrying, and online harassment is never harmless. Law enforcement confirmed the allegations were part of their active investigation, which means this was not speculation, it was a thread investigators considered relevant to understanding what pushed Darrell to his breaking point. What made this particularly painful was that Darrell had been posting publicly about the harassment. The pain wasn't hidden, it just wasn't recognized in time. The people who loved him didn't fully grasp the weight it was adding to whatever else he was already carrying. Darrell Sheets had been in the storage auction business since the early 1980s, long before any producer ever called him. By the time Storage Wars premiered in December 2010, he had already spent 3 decades developing one of the sharpest eyes in the industry. He had found Pablo Picasso drawings, an Abraham Lincoln letter worth around $15,000, a comic book vault valued at $90,000, and most famously, a collection of paintings by Frank Gutierrez worth approximately $300,000, all purchased in a single locker for less than $4,000. That find became legendary, and it wasn't luck. It was the product of 30 years of showing up and paying closer attention than everyone else in the room. He appeared in over 160 episodes of the show and became one of its most beloved figures, not because he was performing for the camera, but because he was the same man on screen as off it. His son Brandon appeared alongside him, and watching the two of them navigate both the auction floor and their father-son dynamic gave those episodes an emotional honesty that the format alone couldn't manufacture. Brandon has since moved into real estate in Arizona, carrying the same instinct for undervalued assets into a different arena. Away from the cameras, Darrell ran his own antique shop, Havasu Show Me Your Junk, a genuine business operation that kept running with or without A&E's involvement. At the time of his passing, his estate was estimated between $2 and $4 million. Not the largest fortune in the reality television world, but one built entirely from scratch over 30-plus years through discipline, instinct, and a refusal to walk away from something he believed in. His estate is expected to pass to his son Brandon and his grandchildren, Zoe, Adeline, and Layton. Renee Nezota, the man the show positioned as his greatest rival, was perhaps the most telling voice in the aftermath of his death. He said Darrell cared about the people in his life more than almost anyone he had ever met. That quality, the depth of care for family, was the thing that defined him most, more than any auction win or television moment. Darrell Sheets built a fortune by believing in things other people had given up on. It is a painful irony that in his final weeks, nobody around him understood how desperately he needed someone to do the same for him.